Okay, this is going to be a video on the soundbar. So you can see the soundbar right here. We're going to get some close-up shots and a little bit of the soundbar. The soundbar is necessary when you have the TV on and the sound isn't loud enough. The soundbar is only for the children's room. We don't have any other soundbars. But I know that there's been some confusion about how to use the soundbar and when it'll work, that sort of thing. So I wanted to go ahead and do an overview of how to make sure the soundbar works. You can get good sound from the TV, and so as you are going to watch a video on the TV, you can just turn the sound up and down, and you can see the volume go up and down on that. It's up in the corner there. If you get over 50, it's pretty good in this room. You'll hear it most of the time, but if it's filled, if the room is kind of filled with a bunch of people, you may not hear well. Or if you're wanting to watch a movie, this is a place, because we have the DVD player, you might want to stream a movie, or you might even have a movie that's on Right Now Media that you want to stream. And so that would be another reason to turn on the sound bar. Don't use the sound bar along with the TV sound. When you have them on, what happens is you'll get double sound. And I'm just going to turn the sound off now. You're calling me over. You're pulling me close. With love you surround me. All right, now we're up here looking at the soundbar itself. And what you can see on the soundbar is some flashing lights right along the side here. These are really the only indicators on the soundbar. And when you hit the power button, all those lights will go off. So we're just going to hit that power button. Those lights go off. I want to give you a little thing on the outside of the soundbar here. If you look on the top side, you can see these 5 different controls, which match some stuff that are on the remote as well. So you have the power. This one changes the input for the soundbar. This is a Bluetooth connector. Again, don't use that unless you really know what you're doing with Bluetooth. And this is just your volume up and down. You can do most of the stuff on the soundbar just from these controls right here. But let's go ahead and learn how to use the remote as we're looking at this. Okay, so here's our remote. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit power on the remote, and you're going to see a single light come on right here. It's pretty loud at the moment. You're going to see as I hit the down, the indicator lights go down. This is your up and down on your volume. So you want to look here how high the volume is. Okay. Now I can hit the mute right here. Go back up on volume. Now I want to show you something important, because when the input gets messed up, this is where you're going to have to do something, make a change. So we have the music going. I'm going to hit this center button here. Okay? This center button changes the input. Now you're going to see these 2 little lights flashing here. That's the indicator of what input we're using at the moment. That's not the input from the TV. So the TV input, we'll get back to it in a second. I hit it again. There's several different inputs on the back of the bar. And if you get back there, you learn. Here you see a 4 light, a 2 and a 2. Again, that's not the input that we need. We go up, and you're going to see just the bottom 2. That's another indicator of an input. If you're checking for inputs, you have to wait just a few seconds until it drops down and gives you at least some sort of other indicator, just because it takes a second for it to switch and try to find the sound. So the next indicator is these 2 right here, which are kind of moving up, and that's another input. And then now we're going to be back, and you're going to listen. And again, it takes a second. And there we go. There's our sound again. So we're back to our correct input, and it was the 2 that were close to the top, not the top 2 indicators, but the 2 that were close to the top right here. And so that's what you need to know to make sure. If you can't get the TV to play through the soundbar and you've got the soundbar on, you might have to flip through the inputs. That's the center button here, until you get it right to these top, not on the very top, but the middle, but just above the top on here. And then the other thing you can check is just whether your mute is on. Okay? So, and again, I've got the mute on the TV on right here, so you can see that's the TV sound, but when they're together, they don't work well. All right, and so that's the video, and that's the instruction on the soundbar. If you have any other questions, just give me a holler.